They said the internet would connect us, make us smarter, freer, more fulfilled. For a while it even looked like it worked. Everyone was smiling in selfies, laughing in short clips, hashtagging gratitude and mental health. But if that were true, why does it feel like we are all a little bit more broken every year? The truth is simple. The internet didn't ruin happiness, it monetized it. It turned joy into a brand, emotion into engagement, and somehow convinced us that the only way to feel alive is to look like we were living our best life for someone else's approval. It started innocently enough. A few social networks, some photos with friends, a way to share pieces of life. Then one day it wasn't sharing anymore, it was performing. Smiles stopped being spontaneous, they became strategy. Posts became proof of existence. Somewhere along the way, connection became a competition, and happiness stopped being something we feel. It became something we upload. We like to pretend, we refree online, but the truth is that every swipe, every double tap, every little red notification is part of a system designed to keep us chasing dopamine on demand. The same chemical that fires when you fall in love, gamble, or win, now activated by a ping. Happiness has been reduced to a trick of timing, a flash of light from a screen that rewards us for staying plugged in. The worst part is that we think we're the ones in control. We think we post because we want to, but every piece of this digital world was built to study and shape our behavior. The colors, the sounds, the timing, it's all calibrated. They don't sell your data, they sell your attention. And nothing grabs attention faster than the appearance of happiness. So we post our highlights, our wins, our vacations, our fake laughter, because deep down we've been trained to believe that the algorithm prefers smiles. It is not that we're lying, we're curating. And when you curate happiness long enough, the line between real and perform starts to disappear. You post a moment that felt good, you check the response. The likes come in fast. You feel it. Approval, validation, belonging. So you chase it again and again until eventually the happiness itself is gone, replaced by the constant need to prove that it is still there. There is a reason social media feels exhausting. It is not just information overload, it is emotional labor. We've all become the PR agents of our own existence. We wake up every day and manage the brand of me. We write captions that sound spontaneous. We filter sadness until it looks poetic. We hide loneliness behind sunsets. Real joy, it doesn't trend. Real sadness, it doesn't sell. So we learn to package our emotions, to compress the messiness of life into perfect 15-second clips. Even the bad moments come with aesthetic lighting and background music. We've reached the point where we don't even cry without thinking how it would look on camera, because somewhere in our minds we are always aware of the invisible audience, the one that might not even care, but still defines what we do. The algorithm doesn't to just reward happiness, it punishes honesty. Talk about depression, your reach drops. Post something angry, it gets hidden. Share something vulnerable, and half the comments turn it into a joke. The system doesn't want truth, it wants traction. So you learn to self-censor. You smile bigger, you caption lighter, you act like everything is fine, because the alternative is invisibility. And invisibility online feels like death. That is the trap. The more we post, the more disconnected we become from the emotion we are trying to express. The more we share, the lonelier we feel. There is even a name for it. Now the digital twin. The version of you that lives online, perfect lighting, perfect timing, always smiling. The problem is that this version becomes more real to other people than the real you, and eventually even you start to believe in them more than yourself. You start competing with your own reflection. You chase a life that looks happier than it feels. You refresh the likes not because you need numbers, but because you need reassurance that this performance is still working. That someone out there still believes in the illusion you have built. It is exhausting, but it is addictive, because the internet rewards performance, not peace. It is not just individuals either. Whole industries now exist to sell the image of happiness back to us. Self-help influencers, wellness brands, productivity coaches, they've all learned the same trick. manufacture insecurity, then sell the cure, make you feel a little less than enough, then promise fulfillment through a course, a product, a mindset. Happiness has become an economy, and in this economy, the customer is also the commodity. And here's the cruel irony. The more people try to sell happiness, the rarer it becomes. The louder the internet screams about joy, gratitude, abundance, the emptier it feels. Because the real thing to survive under that much pressure, you can manufacture authenticity, you can only fake it. And the longer we fake it, the more we start to believe that happiness is something we need to earn, not something we can simply feel. We keep hearing that this is the loneliest generation. But loneliness isn't just about being alone. It is about being unseen and online. Everyone is seen, but nobody is known. We scroll through each other's lives without ever touching them. We mistake watching for understanding and likes for love. We live in public but die in private. Somewhere along the way, we replaced introspection with expression. Instead of asking ourselves how we feel, we broadcast it. Instead of processing pain, we package it. The internet made it easy to share everything, except silence. And silence is where real happiness lives. There's a strange moment that happens when you stop posting for a while. At first it feels like disappearing. Then it feels like breathing. You realize that happiness isn't the highlight reel. It is the quiet moments that don't fit neatly into captions. The ones nobody sees. The ones that don't perform well. The internet didn't destroy happiness. It outsourced it. It made it something we measure in metrics, something we prove with numbers. But happiness was never supposed to scale. It is not supposed to be optimized. It is supposed to be lived clumsy and imperfect and unseen. The most rebellious thing you can do now isn't to delete your account or escape the web. It is to feel something genuine and not post about it. To keep a moment for yourself. To let something beautiful exist without proof. So yes, it sucks to be happy on the internet. Because the second you try it, stops being happiness. It becomes performance. The algorithm doesn't care if you re-okay. It just wants to know if you will keep scrolling, but maybe the real win is when you don't. When you put the phone down, step outside and remember that happiness was never digital in the first place. It was always human. And maybe that is the one thing the internet will never be able to monetize.